What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, earlier I reported on the situation of a body being found, which came out to be Alicia Watts, the missing woman in North Carolina, who, because of her boyfriend, or now ex-boyfriend, James Dunmore, is no longer with us. And before I jump into this story, man, I want to give a big thanks to everybody that's out there close to the story that called me with information, sent me information by text messages, and just the support of wanting to get this case solved. And I got to give you guys respect, not only as a content creator, but also as a friend. I appreciate everything you guys have done. We're helping this channel get the information out to other people in the state, in other states that are concerned about it, and just spreading the word that we can do positive things as a community when we put our minds to it and really think and move forward in a positive direction. So I do applaud you guys out there, and you guys too that have been supportive to the family through the comments, so on and so forth. This story here is sad. I mean, we know it's sad, and it's a family and some relatives out there that's just hurting tonight, and our hearts are with you. But you could get some type of closure being that her body was found. And I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about this idiot, James Dunmore, and how stupid he was. In one of my videos a while ago, I said the man had a dime in his hand and he dropped it and let it fall into the sand and stepped on it because he didn't understand the potential he had with her as a resource of knowledge. And I'm sure with her being up, she was trying to pull him up, but he couldn't see past his own insecurities. I'm going to cover some stuff that the media doesn't have yet. And I'm going to also cover some a couple of things that is not mentioned in the news as far as James Dunmore. And honestly, I think he honestly thought he got away with this. From what I've heard, this man has been living his life. Sitting at home, checking the mail, mainly keeping himself in the house, ordering DoorDash like nothing ever happened. Got chicks running in and out of the house, supposedly. So somebody still cares about it. He just stayed low-key and stayed in the crib. I think when they came and got him today, the SWAT team is who came and got him, guys. He honestly thought he was surprised. I think he was surprised. I want to play this video for you that someone sent me. Shout out. You shout yourself out, man. When I did the story earlier, right? And it hasn't been shown yet or announced. It'll probably be announced tomorrow. That grave site you seen, they said she was in the tree line there. That's not correct. And I'll prove it to you. But this video I'll show you, she was not in that tree line. That area right there is very rural. And, you know, the houses are spaced out. It's very wooded back there. The way that graveyard is set up, it's a road that goes like a loop, like a horseshoe, in and out. And I was sitting here thinking all day about it, like, why would he go there? Because, I mean, a cop could come by the main road and see him. So the reason why they said the graveyard or whatever, remember in the press conference, the police didn't give any information. They just walked off after they said, hey, we found her. Our prayers be with the family, and left. The first thing the media said is, hey, where did you find her? How did you know she was found? Tonight, we're going to try to clear some of that stuff up. So the first thing is first. I'm going to play this video. This is from a media chopper that was over the area. And it's going to show you approximately where her body was. And it was nowhere near that grave site. The reason why they showed that grave site is because that's where the base headquarters was. Once I show you this video, we'll come back and talk about it a little bit. And I'm going to show you how stupid this guy was. Check it out. It's a 3-minute video. What's going on, guys? Listen, I thought I was doing the intro, but listen. That video that you seen, that little 3-minute video, that video is like 40 minutes long. It was chopped up a certain way to where I could put it on here. But that showed you the beginning. You didn't notice a couple of things. When the helicopter was flying and they showed that ATV, that vehicle with the stretchers on it, what was happening was they were going to where the body was at because the police had already found it in that other area. Now you seen, they went up about a mile. They turned in, there was some trailers there. Did you see that winding road going back there? Those are trail roads for hunters. Like when they hunting animals and stuff, because it's all rural back there. Ain't nothing but a couple of houses, but they're spread out. She was like, if you calculate, it was probably like a mile and a half back there in that road. He drove to dispose of that her body, which is shameful in itself. That's why he was walking around acting like nothing ever happened, because he didn't think nobody was going to catch the body. Because if you really think about it, and I was talking to a subscriber about this, by it being wooded out there, a lot of times it's a lot of pine trees. You get all types of smell of dead animals. It's a 2-lane highway there. You always have roadkill. The smell of death will always be in the air. She was ducked off so far back there, guys, that even if you could smell anything from a mile and a half almost off the road, it would be faint. You would think it was general roadkill. Then if you go back and look at that video, right, or I'll just put the link to the whole video in the description box, you'll see one part. It's real quick where the police are at, but they're not standing next to it. You'll see an elevation where it looks like a bunch of pine tree, like branches on top of each other piled up, which is odd in the forest because branches fall where they may. You understand what I'm saying? It looked like they were intentionally piled up. Come to find out, he put her in a shallow grave. Now, if that's not the grave, or if it is the grave, I don't know. But me thinking after hearing it, I'm like, this might be where she at, because it's all roped off. And that's the only weird thing that looks like it doesn't belong in that scenic view from the camera. So you guys can go check it out. But yeah, they said he put her in a shallow grave. So I don't know if he had that thing dug already, which he might have. Because remember, they said the car left out late in the night. He probably went back there and did it, what he had to do. Who knows, guys? But it's messed up. This happened to this woman who he was supposed to love. I've talked about this whole situation and how dumb he was since I've been, until I was blue in the face. But I'm going to talk about 3 things, which is the first thing is that took a lot of work and planning to do. Obviously, he'd been in that area before, but think about it. It took a lot of work and a lot of planning. A lot of work to dig a little grave or whatever. Dispose of a body, it's not an easy thing. It's not like you just pick it up and throw it down, which a lot of dumb criminals do. But this guy put a little bit of effort into that. And I want you to remember that number one fact that I just talked about. It took him time and effort to do that. That's point 1. Point 2 is it's amazing to me, and I want you to hear me on this, that we can take focus and initiative to plan dumb shit or evil shit, but when it comes to ourselves, we cannot, we have no effort to basically elevate ourselves to a better situation. Just because he was a just because he was a criminal in the past or ex-con or whatever, don't mean he could change his life. She was a blessing and he didn't even know it. Think about that. I really want you to really dwell on that for a second. She was doing well for herself. He was in the door. He had it. I'm sure if he made any strides, significant strides to being a better person, that whole year he was with her, I think his whole situation would have been better, mentally and financially. And not at the behest of her, but he would have been getting the education right there on how to be an entrepreneur. And I think he couldn't see past his own ignorance and his own insecurities. That's real. I mean, that took a lot of focus and initiative to do that, let alone dealing with the whole situation. And then to go out there and bury the body like a stray dog buries a bone, shallow grave you put this woman in, knowing that you know her family members. How hard is it to walk away? We talked about that. We talked about it. How hard is it to walk away? Here's the third thing, and I'm gonna really talk about this. You cannot tell me somebody didn't tip them off to where he was at. And I think the command center was set up in that cemetery because that's the only place that they had. Well, two reasons. That's the only place they had to have all their vehicles in a meeting place that was out in the open and not in a wooded area where they couldn't congregate and be seen and get all those vehicles together as a command post. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. When the media shows up, they got to show up there. They don't show up at the scene, which was smart on their part. And they can tell the media whatever. You see, they had the press conference there, said their what they had to say, condolences to the family, and got up out of there because they ain't got to say no more. She's found. You see where she was. ATV went up there and snatched her while they was having the press conference. So nobody knew that otherwise. And if you watch the camera with the helicopter, it was a decoy cop car going, and it went there for a while, and then it figured it out, and then it went back to the ATV that had the stretchers on it. Then it went to the thing, because I think that decoy was to get them out of there. They didn't know if the body was in there already, and the truck was just trailing it or whatever. But like I said, somebody told on him. They had to have tipped him off. If she was in a shallow grave back there, you know, it would have took eyes of the eagle to figure that out and find it, because it was on an elevation. Those dirt roads are hunter trails where hunters go deer hunting and stuff like that. Did you see how far it was back? Even if you had 500 volunteers, you could have never combed that far out there. You know what I'm saying? That's just one of them things. Cadaver dogs had to find her. I'm sure in the upcoming days, they'll probably say cadaver dogs found her. Because, I mean, a month being gone, you're in dirt, you're slowly, you're going through decomp, and nobody's going to be able to locate that. I mean, you would smell it, but I mean, you need dogs out there. I don't see no human going out there and trying to rely on their 5 sentences to figure something out in nature when we ain't built for that. Cadaver dogs found that lady, Alicia Watts. Bottom line is she's found. It's unfortunate news, but they don't have to have no more visuals. They can have a proper send-off with the remains. He could have made himself better. And there's a lot of James Dunmores running around here right now. They want what you got, but they don't want to work to get their own, even though you tell them. That's one of the problems we have out here with a lot of ignorant people. You can tell them, teach them how to fish, teach them how to get money, teach them this, teach them that. Nobody want to take the time to sit down, slow themselves down, and focus step by step instead of wanting to leapfrog all the steps from 1 to 10. They want to leapfrog the first 9 steps, and they want the outcome to be 10. Nobody wants to wait for nothing no more. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. May Alicia Watts rest in peace, and James Dunmore get the death penalty or something, because this is sickening. See you in the next video.